Hello everyone, this is Light on the tube. Welcome to Forza Horizon 2. Let me just approach the festival place because it looks like my next championship is going to be there. And because of that I'm not really knowing the game, how I am progressing in it. I'm not really sure that it's just not going to be the last, but it can happen that it's not going to be the last, it doesn't matter. Of course I changed the car to one of a kind, I guess, because at least I do really like this sound. And I did not really set up the car, so it's going to be in some way stock car. Even for that I think I just did put a rim on it, and I just put a rear wing on it because I just wanted to get it down to class C, but I was not able to.
You're just blowing everyone away. Keep this up and you'll qualify for the finale in no time. You know, the way you're driving,
just watch what is it going
become
to
Horizon
be,
champion.
because I'm not seeing that it's just going to be anything around. Oh, 4 more championship to... okay, so the next place is going to be Castelletto.
The destination is Castelletto, down on the coast.
Castelletto.
This route has some of the world's best driving roads.
Oh
Make the
yeah,
most of them.
I do like driving roads, so let's just go to Castelletto. And let me just try out this car, because I'm not really sure that it's going to be fine, because it's just stuck in some way, and I'm not sure that it's just going to be fine. Yeah, but so the only little problem with the car is just that it's just not really able to go above 200 kilometers per hour, because it just do not have that kind of transmission which lets it to pass that speed. But because of that I'm not sure that it's going to be fine for me on the races. If it's not going to be that fine, I think I'm going to do that little modification, but that I'm just going to put a new transmission into it which has 6 gear at least, and in that way I will hope that it's going to be better, because the power is just in the car but it's just not able to put it down onto the road more than just 200 kilometers per hour. I'm hope in an exchange it's going to be a faster car in that way, that it's just going to accelerate faster till it's just going to reach 200 kilometers per hour. So of course the race will be the place for me where I will be able to find out if it's just working, my theory that even for that it's just not the most high-speeded car, but at least it will be able to do such thing like accelerate faster than the opponents. Oh yeah, it looks like that they just really poured it out to the map, so let me just try to get back, let me just try to pull the brake, because yeah, I do know that the game is just trolling you in that way, that it's just really not lets you aware that he's just going to take away or give it back the control for the car. So in that way it just happens instantly that it's just going to disappear the cockpit, and in that way they are just going, the game is just going to tell you a couple information, and then instantly it's just going to put you back where you were. And of course if you are just not really prepared and you are not knowing it, then it can happen that you are going to finish in a wall, which is not the biggest problem in the game, of course, because the cars or you are just not really able to die. But of course if you are just not really likes to wreck your own car, then it's going to disturb you, I guess. Yeah, because it can be made better, I guess, but it doesn't matter, they just made it. If you do know it, it's not disturbing in that way, that before you are getting into a zone where you think the game is just going to take away the control, of course if you are just slowing down almost to 0, then he's just not going to hit the wall when he's just going to give it back to you. But I'm just getting close to the last, I mean not the last, the first race. So let me just check out what is it about. It's going to be a circuit race, and with this car of course I'm a bit excited about the result, what I'm going to be able to perform, because I'm not sure that this car is just going to be capable of keeping the fight against these guys. But yeah, let me just check out what is it going to be. Don't say anything in front, I mean before. So let me just try my Hemi out. Oh yeah, let's just do it, because it can happen that I'm not going to be able, but I'm counting on that if I will be able to start good and I'm not just spinning the wheels out, then it can happen that I will be able to get after them till we are going to get to 200. Yeah, I'm trusting in the turns in some way, because it can happen that we are not even going to reach the 200. Oh, sorry man, I'm just not really able to turn. It's just dragging faster in that way that it just... Oh yeah, we just reached, I guess, but it's going to be a turn around, I mean in front, so let me just try to take it. Oh, Chico, man, yeah, I'm just not releasing the throttle because I'm just pushing it, because I do know that my car is just really capable of dragging on them faster. It's just not really able to brake or take the turns that well that they are just doing, how they are just doing. But of course I'm just on to keep it on the track, and even for anything, even for that I'm just really pushing the racers down. I'm at least around, so in that way it will be fine, I guess, because this map is just not really lets the cars to pass the 200 kilometers per hour, or if they are just going to reach it almost instantly, they will need to hit the brake. So in that way my car is going to be a perfect thing on this map only. But of course don't say it out in front. Let me just try to not to hit anything then, just between the place between the checkpoints, so in that way it can happen. Yeah, they are just coming, I guess, because oh yeah, I just missed it before. It's not going to be a clean race because of this. I was just slipping down on the hill, so yeah, but because of that, of course, this map is just not all around the straights. In that way, it's just really fine for me. Of course, the drifting is would not be a problem in a normal way, but with a controller it's just not precise enough. I told you before this thing, and I'm just telling you because of course I'm on to drift it. I mean, I'm not on to drift it, but it's at some point if you are just getting into the turns too fast, of course the car is just going to spin out. You need to take it back. Yeah, they are just pushed it all the time, so at least I was able to do it better right now. Let's just try not to forget that it's going to be a big hump, and in that way of course it would throw me away. But in this way it looks like that even for that they are just trying to come, I am still able to stay on the top. Maybe because it's really a good car. Let me just try not to hit an invisible wall in the last couple turns. If I see it correctly, then it's just going to be the... yeah, I slipped down, I guess, but it doesn't matter. My car is just really good in accelerating, I guess, so in that way I was really able to get the first place. I'm guessing it because of the...
You made that look easy.
The short map, because of it was not a long range run. But let's just hope they are not going to bring me out to the highway, because in that way I think I would be lost against even anything, I guess. But yeah, I was lucky, I guess. So let me just get back to the Castelletto events, and of course I'm not on to fight against the rivals. Okay, let me just wait till it's going to load in. Of course, what else you can do? At least it's just not going to load for too long. It's acceptable, I guess. Let me just check out the next raid, because I have to decide if I'm going to take this one. Oh yeah, at least it's just going to bring me back onto the other side of the map, so it's just going to be fine. Let me just try to... Oh, no, it was because of the... I was not using manual clutch. I was not able to shift that way, that I was just pushed the throttle all the time, and then I just let the clutch on it, and that way it would just spin in 180 almost instantly, but because of that it just released the throttle during the shifting. Of course I was not able to perform that stunt, but it doesn't matter, I was able to turn around in an Y, I guess. So I'm just on my way to... Oh yeah, this road is just really throwing up and down for some reason. It feels like that you are just really going on a rocky, dirty road. Even for that it looks tarmac, but doesn't matter. Of course it can be useful if you are just using it out against the enemy, because on that surface I guess the car is just going to slip more, even for how it looks. But yeah, let me just put that little into it, that extra couple kilometer per hour, and then it's going to take less time a bit, but because of that I'm not really far. It's not going to take long. At least I'm going to get familiar with the car. I think it's just fine. I do like these kind of cars, these old American muscle cars, in some way, because they had a really great suspension. In that way there were no humps, what was a problem for them. So in that way, even for that, it might be not really able or capable to take the turns that fast how the cars do it these days, but at least it just feels like a comfortable way. So if you are just not setting it out to anything else, then it's going to feel that you are just, yeah, it's just really great, I guess, in feeling that how the car just works out the bumps. It's just really swimming on it in some way, like a ship in the ocean. And in some way, of course, you are, I think that's why they just said that they are big boats in some way, because they are just sailing on the road. And you don't really need to like sailing, I guess, to like this feeling what the car just gives to you. But of course it's not the best for races, even for anything, even for the comfortable feeling. But even for that, I'm on to use this setup, because I do like this, and because of that the game is just going to put the opponents in that way that they are just going to fit against your car, no matter how you just set it. But of course I can guess that you are just able to use out the points in a bad way, that is just not even going to accelerate and not even going to grip, but you just made the whole points into it. So in that it can happen that you are just going to set the car wrong, and of course even for that is just the same class from the opponents, just not going to be fine for you, because the car is just not able to perform such thing like you want it from it. Oh dang it, yeah, I was that's why it's just not really for racing, because it just not takes the turn fast, it's just really working it out before. But yeah, at least I was seeing how the other one just slipped into the wall, and because of that they are just getting close. I do know that my car is just really great in accelerating, and I think I'm just lucky that a turn is just coming and in that way I was able to get behind them, and of course in the... Oh, it just really put in front of me. Oh, it just hit something, or I don't know what happened. It just disappeared in an instant in some way. And even for that is just a straight, of course, because of that I just reached 200 faster than them. Of course, oh, I was able to stay behind. Let me just try not to hit the wall. Not just because of that I not really like to wreck my cars. It just really takes a lot of speed from you, but I'm just seeing somebody just behind fast, so for that I need to rev it out. Tack. Of course I need to do this because I'm just not faster than this, and the other one is just coming. Let me just hope that these turns are just going to help me in that way, that I will be able to take it more faster than it, and in that way at least I will be able to drag up, to accelerate up to 200 kilometers per hour faster. Even for that I'm not really having grips on the car, what would make it to capable of take the turns. So let's just release it a bit, because a bigger turn is just coming, and even for that the big one, I mean the second guy is just really approaching me from behind. I'm seeing it that it can happen that he's just losing some time, because of course when the turn coming and then when he needs to accelerate out from the turns, he's just not really capable of doing it that fast. How my car just doing it. Let me just try to stay on the road, because dirts make it more slippery onto the feeling, and not just onto the feeling, it's just really going to take away the grip. But it looks like I was able to get into the first place. It can happen, the car is just really
Nice
fits
driving, mate.
well onto these, or into this class. I'm not sure, of course. I was just thinking on at the first time when I just when I did put it in, that I just maybe it's not going to be a good idea, because it doesn't even able to perform a high speed, I guess. But I had that thought what I just used out a long time ago in simulator online races, that I made my car in that way that I just made the gears shorter than others, and in that way the same horsepower is just was just made my car to a faster acceleration compared to those whose gears were just longer in some way. And in that way, of course, I was faster almost all the time, because my car was just faster in that way. So even for that they might be able to perform better high speed, they were not able to use it out really, because they were, why they just got to that, till they just got to that speed, I was far away with my good accelerating car. And I'm just hoping that it's just working like that way out here as well, because at least it looks like that it's just working. But of course, don't say it out. If I saw it correctly, it's really going to be a short race. I mean, it's going to be a circuit race, but if I saw it correctly, it's just a short map. So in that way, my accelerating car, I think, is just going to be the best here. But there will be one more lap, I mean one more race, what I'm not knowing about anything, and in that way it can happen that it's just going to be such thing like a highway race. Oh, the dirt is just really slowing you down. So on the highway I think I'm lost, because of the high speed I'm just not capable to perform. But races are just good because of this. Most of the races are just not about straights. That's drag races for, I guess. So in that way, of course, this tactic is just working, because in that way at least I did not have to use out extra points to put the transmission in, and in that way my car is just still around Class C, because even for that it's just Class B is just above it with 1 point, and because of that the game is just really putting the opponents around you in the same class, almost in the same class. It might be not just the same class, because there are enemies who is just among from the Class C, and enemies who are just among Class B right now, I guess, like it was before in the 2 races. But let me just get back to the race and concentrate on it, because even for my car is just a really great car. It can happen of course all the time, because of that I'm not really knowing the place, that they are just not really on to it. Let me just try to launch better, because it just spins out that hard. Oh Chico, I just made it wrong. I just got into the turn that fast that I was just almost slipped out. But yeah, let me just try to get after them, and let me just check out if I was right or not, because I was thinking that my car is just really better in accelerating after the enemy, I mean the opponents. So in that way it can happen that if I'm going to make it right or better than them, but I'm just not able to. For some reason I'm just really not able to. I think I should do such thing like trying to draft on them, because I'm not going to be on the top if I'm just going to keep it up. Nothing happened, and we are just almost at the last place in the first lap. Yeah, the problem is just coming, oh yeah, just sorry man, but I'm still on to do it. Okay, it was just fine. Let me just try to do it inner side. No, sorry man, I just slipped on you. It was not really on purpose. I was not on to release the throttle, of course. It's just not about that kind of racing right now, for me at least. Let me just try to approach the 2 last of the opponents, because if I would be able to take them out, it would be really great for me, because at least I'm just counting on that my car is just able to perform that acceleration what they are just not able to fight against. Let me just check it out. One shift is just always makes it slower, but yeah, I'm just getting in front of it in some way, but he's just pulling on me, and there is 1 more lap, and because of that it's just the same place, and we just reached 200 km/h. Even for that I just was able to get out. Oh Chico! Yeah, I just made it wrong, because this car is just turning with acceleration like a jet ski, and because of that I was just stepped on the brakes. It just slipped into the wall, and in some way I'm not really happy about the result, because it just would be like that thing that it's just not going to be let me to get after that guy. But let me just try to jump into the turns, and let me just try not to get killed, but let me just try to get after this guy, because I can think of that I might be able to perform such thing like drafting and getting after it, because my car is just really able to perform better speed, but it's just not able to go after in front of 200 km/h. I'm just not able to get after it. Yeah, in some way it was fine, I guess. At least I saw that I was able to perform better lap than the guy in front. Of course, because of that my car is just was not really able to perform a better speed than 200 km/h. I think I just stuck into that speed at the end, and of course I just lost because of it. But even for anything, I think I just made the 4th race onto the podium as well. So in that way I think I just made the championship in Castelletto, and in that way I hope that the showcase is just going to jump up. And
wow, top driving there, mate.
I do know now that it's just going to take 3 more championships to finish the game. It said that 3 more to go to get the Horizon championship.
You're in a great position. Place in the final race, and the championship is yours.
Oh, it's just a 3rd? I can't count, I guess. But even for anything, I'm not unhappy. I'm happy because I do like this car, and I'm just hoping that the last race is just going to be not on the highway and let's just hope that it's going to be as exciting as how the third race was. So let me just choose out the last race here. It's going to be the orange if I would be able to. Oh yeah, it contains a couple of turns. Let me just try out a couple of things, because if I just I just should release it, of course. Let me just cut it in a great way, because of course I'm on to get to here fast, because I want to race right now. Ooh, yeah, it just had a great sign, blah 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 blah. I really like that. So let me get to the fourth race, and this is going to be the last in Castelletto. Yeah, one day I think I'm going to learn to count, but it looks like this is not that day. So let me just do it, even for anything, because for driving you don't really need to count. Yeah, let me just do such thing like trying to. Yeah, I was able to. At least it was not spinning that much, but but I'm not sure that it's just it was better than when it was just spinning around, because I was not pushing it that hard. But let me just try to. Yeah, it's a sprint race. Ooh! Let me just try to get into this turn, because I do know it. Ooh, Kit! Take it! Yeah, it just slipped away. And I tried, their friend, it just went away. Let me just try not to do such thing like getting into the wall, because the game is just on to slip you away. Oh yeah, I'm just trying to get after them, but let me just put it in straight, because if I'm just seeing it correctly, it's going to be a cuttable way. But let me just try to not to kill myself. Oh, I was able not to pass it without jumping on that guy. But even for anything, sorry man, I'm just, of course, was just on to push the throttle, and even for that they are just drafting off after me. I'm just able to get after these guys, but we just reached 200 km/h and the straight is just coming, so in that way it's just not going to be fine for me. But Bok is just getting closer for some unknown reason. Let me just try to take it in with full speed, then it's just helping, tack tack tack. Oh yeah, bit of brake, and let's just pull, step back on the gas. Even for that it just looked like that I just should turn, I should push the throttle. I was doing such thing, but let me just try not to hit the wall. Yeah, it's just fine. We are just getting to the end of it, so let me just try not to slip that hard, because I should get to the same speed at least. Change gear, I mean, yeah, I was able to change the gear in time, and let me just try to get after it. Let's hope that it's just going to use. Oh, Chico, my eyes, just the same thing what I just did before, and I just won't be able to. Oh, let me just try that. It just going to. Oh yeah, I was thinking on that he's just going to do it. Ooh. I was not on to release the throttle,
Nice driving,
and
mate.
in that way, of course, I was able to fit next to it. Of course, for that I think I just hit it a bit, but he did let me the space, so in that way, of course, I was able to beat the opponent in the last turn, and that was fine for me, I guess.
Did you know you can pick up more rewards and get
If I
closer
would
to
be
your next
clean,
race
I
band
guess. Yeah,
by
it's not
racing
really a clean
with
streak. I just
style?
got 600 experience points for the clean driving. I think I just wrecked myself. I'm getting aggressive morely in some way, but I'm happy about that. I just made the force evens in Castelletto, and in that way I think I just won the championship here. So I'm just going to go to Cisteron next time, how it looks to me. But of course, let me just check out if I just got back if I just got the showcase event or not, because I'm interested in that car. And then I would be able to try it out on the
Guys,
next
are we ready? We are
it's
heading
really
down
far,
to
I
the
guess.
ancient town of Sistrom.
on the really
It's a long drive, but
Yeah,
hey,
really
that's what we're here for, isn't it?
other side on the map, I guess.
We're just getting set up for the next showcase. Meet me here.
Oh yeah, of course I'm on to do it, but let me just put it into the next video where the showcase are just going to be around, and because of that oh yeah, I was just thinking that it just really killed itself, I mean frozen down. So yeah, I think I just want to, oh shit, no. Okay, I'm just parking at the wrong place, I do know. Let me just park down from to the road. Let me just not hit it. Yeah, I did hit it, doesn't matter. Of course, thank you that you watched the video, and of course in the next video I'm going to do that showcase event what I was just fighting for, and let me hope that it's just going to be really fine, that car for me. And I'm thinking on, of course, at Sisteron next time I'm going to use the Aston Martin Vanquish, and I'm thinking on that I'm going to set it a bit for fits to my purpose, so in that way it's going to be exciting, I guess, in the next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are going to see the next one as well. And of course, thank you watched this one, and have fun. See you.